Welcome back, survivors. I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return Carnivores Dinosaur Hunt for another week, going through and grinding our points up. Now, we've gotten into the Great Forest, and with the Parasaurolophus unlocked, I'm pretty sure if I take all the weapon upgrades off, we can get the Crossbow out. And we actually... Okay, no, so I'm not quite there for a weapon up. Oh, hang on. Okay, no, I can take that off. And I can only take 2, but what I think I'll do... Yeah, I don't really need the speed upgrade, so... Now we're going to be into the point farm, because having the Parasaurolophus unlocked, along with the crossbow, basically means as long as I hit any shot on the animal, it should take it down with this, especially with the damage upgrade, too. So we'll hopefully be able to get no problems taking down a few Parasaurolophus, and with those taken down, we'll be able to unlock, well, slowly get through more of the maps, because there are still quite a few to open up. But we'll get through them, we'll get more options opened up, more equipment, try stuff out. Basically just get us back to that point where we can kind of goof around with some fun stuff. And we'll probably get into much more request hunts with this version of Dinosaur Hunt, because we've seen so much of what Dinosaur Hunt has already offered through the coverage on the Switch that I've done. But everything looks good, so we might as well just hop in, get to a new hunt, and see how we do. And then Saurian Target also did recently put out his video just showcasing like what the new update has entailed for Dinosaur Hunt, as well as the DLC. I can easily understand where he's coming from with not wanting to pick up the DLC yet, and I mean, unless anything really changes, it's one of those I could really see just holding off to kind of show to show as a consumer, no, this isn't good enough to warrant us picking it up. You gotta do better. But yeah, we'll just, again, it's in such a weird spot right now for like how everything is. Basically just have to give it some time and see how it might change or come around. I will be tackling the Carnotaurus, probably not this episode, maybe next episode. But it's definitely one of the animals that, well, it's actually an aspect. Actually, it seems like an awful lot of bloom on him, and he's... Okay, yeah, see, these guys are still... They aren't, like, dynamic AI on them. They are, like, on a rail system. Actually, hang on, there's something... Oh, no, it is just the Gallimimus' head. Yeah, like, they are following basically step by step in the same path as each other, it looked like. It's not like they've got a more advanced AI to basically just say, like, players coming from this direction, go opposite direction. They are literally in a line almost, I'd say right after each other. Neither that or because they are the same AI. Yeah, see, this is interesting to watch them. It does seem... Okay, that might just been the Ankylosaurus, but Saurian commented it almost seems like these guys follow the player, and... Oh. And I honestly think they kind of do, like, watching how they're going back and forth there. Alright, right, holding breath is alt, and that's about 225. Okay. Okay, that was a hit, so it should take it down in just a moment. Yeah. Yeah, see, this is where if you guys are going to be fresh to Dinosaur Hunt and you're not sure, or you want to get your point grind up super quick, Parasaurolophus, Crossbow with the damage upgrade, all you have to do is hit them anywhere on their body, and they will. Yeah, see, you're back. You just ran over that way. It does seem like in order to almost like give off this illusion there's more ambience, these guys might just follow the player around. Kind of an underhanded tactic that I do not like the feel of. Because again, here he comes back. And yeah, now you're coming back this way. Oh, another Parasaur. 187 on this one. Oh, no, okay, I guess it picked me up. Yeah, so it was by sight. Okay. Well, that's no problem. We can just kind of keep a bit low and follow along where we saw it going off, too. But yeah, you'll run up that way, then you'll probably run back here, won't you? Kind of curious to see how it'll behave. The like, that's the Pelican Nemimus, I think, yeah. Curious to see if the Gallimimus will be back somewhere. And I also do want to... Okay, I thought I heard some for a moment there, but I wanted to try to figure out where that Parasaur we spotted went. Well, that's where it was. And it does seem like the phantom sound issue has been resolved. Like, the breath did linger with him, or with that Parasaur. And it's not like it seemed to remain there and then go rushing off. So it is good to see that that has been resolved and fixed. Because that was one of the big problems with the game, was with hunting games really requiring you to be focused on sight and sound, having sound taken away really would impact... I'm kind of surprised at how... I wonder if the scores got adjusted a bit. Because I thought the Parasaurs used to give a bit more, or maybe I'm thinking of the Ankylosaurs. I know the Ceratosauruses could give like 100 gems, but I thought the Parasaurs gave like somewhere in the realm of 60, 70-ish. Like, I thought they were a pretty decent provider, but maybe that's been adjusted a little bit. Oh, and then another thing Saurian brought up is the Pteranodons do have sounds again. So it's nice to know that. They're not just, like, mutant in the map anymore, so that's good. I'll just kind of keep going around the usual circle that I've done for the Great Forest, try to go for more. We kind of previewed some of the ways you can change, like, the spawn densities on the maps that... Apparently, the Tyrannosaurus Rex you actually cannot increase the amount of. That is hard fixed as just one appears on the map. A bit disappointing, and again, it's weird to have it that's the case. I could almost see if it had to be like something you would unlock to like prove, okay, you're capable of trying to go after that many, you can. But yeah, that's a bit weird to have seen. Okay, it's just a few red flowers or something there. I didn't know, because again, I haven't even really played the Switch version of Dinosaur Hunt, because it is a lot of, if you play Dinosaur Hunter Reborn, it's really the same game just brought forward again. Even still, it's the same game, same assets, same content. It's just that a few little systems and mechanics are tweaked a bit. But, I mean, for the sake of how I've covered Carnivores, I figured I had to, like, come back. Show it off. Oh. Are you coming after me? Or are you just, like, going in... Yeah, see, now... You are definitely seeming to follow us. Now, I don't know where the Pelicanomimus is, but I'm almost expecting it to, like, run up here in a moment or two. Yeah, it feels like they almost have this weird tie to the player where they have to keep in so much distance of you. But then once they're within that radius, they kind of stop. If you approach, they run off, but then come back. I just heard something over to the... Yeah, see, here he comes along. No really reason for him to go as he did. Gets within that range, stops, and just kind of idles. Okay, I'm hearing something nearby. I mean, I don't have the double ammo to really let us farm up a lot on this one hunt, but if I can even get like 5 or 6 Parasaurs, that'll add together be a nice amount of gems to just keep getting upgrades to then make it even easier to farm and grind. And then from what some of the comments have mentioned and talks going around on the DLC animals, it almost sounds like they've been given T-Rex AI in a way. And I can see why, because they do almost have the wind-up animation on first trigger of like knowing where you are, then coming after you. They are made super tanky and health pools, basically, that take a lot of shots unless you supposedly hit them in the eye or their mouth. So it does kind of... The more that, like, the in-depth and testing of it is going, the more empty the DLC is kind of feeling. Like, from a look standpoint, if they got the textures to be a little bit more fitting for the game, I could see it being drawn... Oh, there's an Ankylosaurus. I see being drawn into it a lot more. But now that people are getting their hands on... Yeah, you are just following along with us. You're taking some interesting routes, but... Runs in, meets the distance, stops, and just idles almost. I don't know if there's, like, something... I mean, the Pelicanimimes, I have no idea where that one is. But I don't know if it's almost something where, like, depending on the map, one will stick with you for one half, the other half. It's just weird to have this tag along. But yeah, back to the DLC, and like, with us getting the chance to be playing it ourselves, trying it out, feeling it out, there's more and more that is feeling not quite right, even further than how it initially felt. Like, I'm still going to play more, try and test it out and see, but I can understand the distaste left in the community's mouth with it. It's kind of feeling like despite all the updates that are coming to Dinosaur Hunt, there's not really anything new added in, but it's more so, how do we just make it so that way you have ways to tweak numbers to give this illusion this is a new feature? Because, like, for the, changing the dinosaur spawns, it feels more so that was just allowing a way for players to change the numbers than, like, much new with that. Like, the big thing that I'm still kind of worried about and seeing how the DLC is the comment that, like, there's no 3D modelers or that for the game. Or in the studio for Dinosaur Hunt. So how are you going to have new weapons, new dinos, new maps, even possible, without, like, these modelers or artists or that? I know they did, I think it was for Dinosaur Hunter Reborn, they did hire on the outside modeler in that fort to come up with old models we see in Dinosaur Hunt. So, I mean, if they can take that approach again, it worked out okay for them, but it's the fact that they weren't transparent about that till, like, after the fact that feels more underhanded and shady. Again, there's just a lot of things that don't sit quite right, and you could easily go into more so if you wanted. Kind of surprised we haven't seen any other Parasaurolophus, though. Oh, actually, that's one thing I could do, is go into the settings and crank up their spawn amount quite a bit. Maybe after this hunt I will, so that way we can try to make sure we get a lot more points coming in. No. I mean, I could go for a Stego, but it's not really worth it considering we don't have him licensed. No, actually, he's kind of took the hint himself and decided to go bugger off. Thank you, Stego. You live to see another day. Then another thing, too, is, like, with the, like, even with the lethal mode and the tranquilizer mode in the game, there's not much of anything choosing one over the other provides. like, sure, if you use the lethal mode, you can see the red footprints and tracks, so you know, okay, that dinosaur is definitely going down, I just have to follow it. I think it would have been better to say... You guys just flying over. It is nice to hear their sound effects. No sign of the Gallimimus, so maybe we did break their following of us a little bit. But, say, like, if you turned on lethal mode, you'd get higher gem rewards. Whereas if you chose the tranquilizer mode, you got higher trophy points for, like, hunting stuff. It's just something like that to give them a little bit more purpose besides the, like, purely cosmetic aspect it seems to kind of have to it. It's trying to figure out what can be done with this game that has just we've seen so much of before that can help give it new spin and new life. Because without it, it's hard to say if it's going to even have future updates or work done. That's the big thing that so much of the community I think is really waiting on, is something truly new with the same kind of passion and work put in that feels like the devs want to do more with it, rather than it's just like trying to meet a quota to get stuff out. And that's where the asset store stuff doesn't hold up, because, again, it's just asset store stuff. Even if they had done a little bit of trying to make their own textures or skin or something for it, I could have seen it being more well received. But with how it stands, it's impossible not to feel like it's kind of not really any care or focus put into it. Okay, I don't see any red, so he's probably just going to remain upright. And you... Yeah, you were coming in, but that should put you down, considering we put down the Parasaurs in a single hit. Yeah, down you go. So I do want to keep an eye on Dinosaur Hunt, but I admit, like, on first announcement for the game, I wasn't too optimistic it would be all that much different from, like, Dinosaur Hunter Reborn that we'd seen before, and again, that sentiment is remaining firm and kind of proving itself true. It's a game that I think there has to be cautiousness when, like, viewing and trying to take in, just because we've had so much kind of fall short of what has been said for it for a lot of times. And unfortunately, the DLC kind of has continued the streak so far. It could be turned around where if the, oh, apologies there, just had to breathe a moment. If the studio does come forward, does try to do something a bit more unique with it, brings in the community to try to better improve that, I could easily see that a good sign of faith for the community. Again, they still did try to push something out through through everything going on in Ukraine and that. And I don't see any red from that shot either. I really gotta... Okay, you know what? One of these hunts I'm going to take the X-ray thing and try to go after more ankylosaurs, just so I can figure out where I should be aiming on them better. Man, I'm not going to waste 2 shots on them. I'll just try pursuing the parasaur we saw at the lake. And then... Okay, you know what? Maybe I will try taking it down. Although, I think all it'll give me is trophy points if I do. Yeah, there you go down. I'll try getting one more animal, then we'll end the hunt, but... Again, the DLC is a touchy thing, and it really is going to, I think... You followed us all the way around, you little bugger, you. It's going to be the make or break point I see for Dinosaur Hunt. If nothing gets done with it, it remains as is, and something else tries to be put out as DLC for the game, I could see that breaking the community and just saying, no, enough's enough, we have not seen anything properly new, and with, like, that feels like you're trying to put out new content for us. It feels more like you're just trying to meet this idea of new and trying to cash in on us. We'll have to see how it all goes, but right now there is still ununderstandable unrest there, and I'll just keep along and keep an eye on things to let you guys know, and if my opinion changes, remains same, etc., you'll find out as I talk and that through videos. How many shots do I have left? I still got a little bit more. I'll try for one more Parasaur, take that, head back, and maybe we'll even put you down since, again, it's followed us the entire go-around on the map. And it's not like I've been actively pushing towards it. It's been coming up behind me every single time. Oh. Well, that explains where that's been. I think we actually broke his AI. Let me see. Sure. No, I actually did hit it. I think we broke the Carnotaurus' AI, so it just, like, stopped in that one spot. But the Gallimimus sure hasn't gone off anywhere. It's kind of weird that the Parasaur came almost right on top of where this guy went down. And if we look behind us, do we have the other Gallimimus following? Yes, we do. You little bugger, you. Actually, there's not even like a little cloud effect for... Actually, I'm curious. What happens if I go over to him with him down? Like, that reward should have came up... should be talking about the Parasaurolophus. Yeah, there you are down. You will just kind of leave you... What happens if I do, like, walk up and break him out? I wonder if that's going to, like, trigger him to start his, like, weird follow pattern again. Yeah, sure, we'll put you down. We might get the trophy points from it. We won't get the gems, but we'll see. Going back the menu. There we go. Okay, let's head back, wrap this hunt up. And that should be enough points. We can get a few more things to help us out. Most, like, the big ticket item is going to be the double ammo. And I'll change the spawn frequency to get the Parasaurs. Actually, maybe I'll go for the Ankylosaurs more. Okay, yeah, so that seems to be what happens when we take them down. No gem reward, but there is a little bit of a trophy point reward. So again, it's not really worth it going after the non-licensed unless you really want to. But that gave us 232. Oh, 300. I'm not quite there yet. I think I will do the X-ray visor. I think I'll do camouflage too. That, along with the... Or, hang on. Actually, I might have to see, because I'd like to... Yeah, go after those two. They're probably going to be our big point total so far. Up their spawn rates onto the map. That way I can get them more easily. And before I do leave the Great Forest, I do want to try hunting the Carnotaurus on this map and see how they are. But for now, we are going to leave this episode right here. Thank you all very much for joining me on this episode of Carnivores Dinosaur Hunt. If you did like the video, be sure to give a like, and if you have any comments, tips, or tricks, be sure in the comments right down below. Until I see you in the next video, hunters and survivors, please remember, as always, to take care and stay alive.